Hey guys, if you like the content, please be sure to like the videos and subscribe to the channel. Thanks. Quick reminder to check out this week's Mortar Pod, our video podcast, and also check out this week's SeemsGoodMagic card giveaway. Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're doing another Swiss Theros block draft. We've opened Crewfix. We'll take him because he's worth some tickets, but I don't know if I'm going to get trapped into playing him again. Maybe I won't make the mistake of passing a Crow and Colossus with him this time and trying to make him work. But by no means am I going to marry Crewfix with pick one. How much is he worth anyway? I hope he's worth something. He's not even on here. Jeez, he's worth 0.5. He might not even be worth taking first pick. To be honest, he's just underwhelming. I'd rather have Brain Maggot so I get information plus steal a card, or Spiteful Blow, which is straight up removal. But I'd probably rather just have the Brain Maggot, to be honest. Crewfix just isn't good in Limited. I don't think so. 4/7 indestructible, I guess. Screw it, I'll take him. He's a god. Probably not playing him. Alright, follow-up pick. We're going to take the Banishing Light over the Brain Maggot and Grim Guardian. Not much else in here, I guess. Pretty much that's it. Let's take the Banishing Light. Definitely worth it. Some good removal. Okay, now we can take Feast of Dreams, Hubris. Oak-Heart Dryads is cool. Pen to the Earth is playable. Nyx Weaver's cool. Taking Feast of Dreams, going black-white. Typically don't do that very often. Occasionally, just not very often. Could also take the Mastiff, but he seems more underwhelming. It's probably early enough where I can just take the best pick, so maybe I take the Feast of Dreams. It's a pretty solid removal spell. Hubris is good too for blue-white, but I think Feast of Dreams is still better. Okay, so now we can take Reprisal, which is good. Thoughtrender Lamia, which I do think I like. It's basically 6 mana 5/3 that makes your opponent discard as soon as you do it, but all future enchantments trigger it as well. I do think I like this more than I like the Dreadbringer Lampads. This is Evasion, which is good, but this... the discard, I don't know. I feel like this can be... the turn you play it, I feel like you're going to be hitting their last card. I don't know. The one time I played it, I was pretty impressed with it. I thought it played well. But Reprisal is legit. I mean, it's hard to deny Reprisal. Usually, it's probably a better idea to value removal higher than creatures. So I think I'm going to take the Reprisal. Change my mind. Not necessarily black yet. Definitely would like to be white though. Alright, well we can take Eagle the Watch, which is in white, and has Flying and Vigilance, which is good. But kind of want to take the Bloodcrazed Hoplite, even though we're not necessarily in black yet. Heroic is really good. Heroic and Bestow is typically how I like to focus the deck. More so than Evasion. But Evasion is good too. I think I'm going to take the Hoplite. It's a good 2-drop. I like it. Okay. So choice now is Nyx Infusion, which is pretty multi-purpose. Squelching Leeches, which is pretty cool. But I don't know if I'm deeper black or white yet. And Iconoclast, which I still have not played, but I wanted to. I'm going to take the Iconoclast over the Nyx Infusion. Really been meaning to try this card out, and I think it could potentially be really good. Mortal Obstinacy is also really good too. heroic trigger plus the removal spell probably. But let's take the Iconoclast for now. Oppressive Raise is a really good card. I think this card's legit. Works better when you're aggressive. But making your opponent pay 3, I feel like it's good. I guess Nyx Infusion is actual removal though. Whereas Oppressive Raise is probably better if you're aggressive. Harvest Guard Alceids are good too. I think I'm going to opt into the Infusion. I like the card quite a bit. People must not like it that much though. Tends to go late. Let's take the Immortal Obstinacy here over the Cruel Feeding. Cruel Feeding could technically hit 2 of our guys, but this is so cheap, and I just feel like the enchantment removal is huge, and sometimes. Oh wow, tabled Spiteful Blow. Yeah, definitely taking that over the Cast into Darkness, even though I really do like Cast into Darkness a lot. Spiteful Blow is just a little bit too brutal. Wow, tabled a Brain Maggot as well. That's great. So we're going to take the Brain Maggot over the Grim Guardian for sure. Okay, we can take a second Mortal Obstinacy. I'm not against that. Otherwise we take an Aspect, which is fine, but let's double up on the Mortal Obstinacy. All right, happily taking Dreadbringer after tabling it. You can dump the Crucifix. So I could have had a second Brain Maggot, but I took a ticket instead. We'll see if that makes a big difference or not. Okay, let's see. This card's really good. Well, they're actually both pretty good. This fixes, this brings 2 things back. Let's take the font. Cruel Feeding, that's a good second to last card to get. Very playable. Alright, pretty good start. Black-white, like I said, typically never do it. So this is already pretty interesting. Alright, pack 2. And I think we're just going to go with Forlorn Sudama. It's got evasion and it gets you dudes. So I think it's good. Have a couple ways to buff it. I actually really like the evasion with the obstinacy if we need to destroy an enchantment of some sort. So that seems good. Not too much we can hope to table from here. I guess I could play a Weight of the Underworld, possibly, or sideboard an Eye Gouge maybe, but nothing too great for us that's on color otherwise. Alright, for our second pick, not too much on color for us. Dawn to Dusk, typically don't play it. It's probably fine in here. Got a few enchantments already. I guess I could take the Springleaf Drum. It's good with Inspired, but not much else. There really just isn't that much in this pack for us in general. So I think I'll just, I mean, we could take Necrobite too. That card's actually pretty playable. I'm trying to think how likely it is I even play Springleaf Drum. Doesn't feel super likely. Guess we'll take the Necrobite. Can trigger Heroic and kind of a removal spell a little bit. Alright, well, I guess we'll take a Loyal Pegasus now. We don't have a lot of creatures to support it, but it's significantly better than Fellhide Brawler. And it looks like not much else in here for us. Looks like, though pack 1 worked out for us, we're kind of getting cut from this direction. Alright, maybe I spoke too soon. We got Necrone Skyguard here, who's pretty awesome. Also a Nyxborn Eidolon, but I think we're going to go with the Skyguard. I do like Bestow, but this guy flies and has Heroic. And we do already have quite a few ways to target guys, so let's get the Skyguard. He's usually pretty awesome. Might just have to take the Drifters. Just on color. Could take the Great Heart. Guess we're a little bit short on creatures. Oh, never mind. Taking a Resco Sun Guide. Almost didn't notice him there. Pretty solid little bear for us. I think we take Revoke Existence. Plea for Guidance foil is kind of cool. Currently have quite a few enchantments we could search up, but it's expensive. I'd rather have Revoke. Pretty main deckable spell. Though we already have quite a bit of removal. Okay, well we get a good white pick here. We'll take the Skirmisher. Yet another heroic guy. Probably table the Grizzly transformation we passed earlier. Hopefully. But this was a good creature to pick up. We're definitely in need of some creatures. Alright, well now there's Weight of the Underworld and Eye Gouge. I guess we can take the Weight. I've played it before. It can do nice things for you. Okay, we're going to take the Eye Gouge for sideboard. Hold at base playable too, but I'd rather have the Eye Gouge. Fellhide Brawler, I guess, just in case I need it, but I prefer to not play it. Bunch of red stuff, huh? Cyclops is actually pretty playable. We'll hate that from somebody. I guess Starbreaker, but no, let's take the Radiance cut white. Alright, Great Heart's playable for sure. Would I rather play the Drifters or the Great Heart? I think probably the Great Heart, but Drifters might work better with the land pads. Hammer of Perforos. I'd love to take that. I just don't think it's in the cards. Could also take a Snarecaster, which is good. God's Willing, which is awesome. Read the Bones is very good. I think we want the God's Willing. This is just an amazing trick. And we have the heroic guys already to support it, so I think that's where we want to be. Otherwise, yeah, Read the Bones would probably be second pick or Snarecaster. Hopefully we can wheel something of use from there. Alright, Dauntless Onslaught's insane. Scholar is the reason to play this deck, this color combo. But can I table a Scholar is the question, because I really do want this Dauntless Onslaught. This is one of the best cards in full block, in my opinion. Just a complete game-changing spell. Hopeful Eidolon is fantastic as well. Let's see. So there are 14 cards in here. We're going to get 8 picks down. So is Scholar likely to be amongst the least powerful 6 cards remaining in this pack? Well, it's going to be land. So then 5 more cards. Probably Mnemonic Wall, Commune with the Gods, Centaur, Acolyte. I don't know if we can table Scholar. You really want it to. I mean, like I said, Scholar is such a... That's tough. I wasn't 100% confident that I could table the Scholar, and I just think this deck needs, like, the Scholar win condition. I really feel bad about passing Dauntless Onslaught, but Scholar is going to be better for our deck overall, whereas Dauntless is just better in most situations. But Scholar for the deck. I don't know what the percent chance of it tabling was, but it worried me. We can take the Decorated Griffin now. It's probably playable. It's not that great, but playable. Let's cut the Drifters. Alright, Pharika's Cure, but I think we're taking the Ordeal. I like removal, but the Ordeals are very strong spells. Philosopher would also be pretty good, but alright. Okay, so we can say Disciple, Hopeful Eidolon, Lash, Pharika's Cure. All of those are very good. Ray of Dissolution. I think we're taking Hopeful Eidolon. This is a real game flipper. Plus, we've already got quite a bit of heroics, so let's go on that plan. Okay, Blood Toll Harpy. Pretty legit. Rescue from the Underworld is cool sometimes, but maybe not for this deck. Let's take the Harpy. Let's cut the main deck Revoke. Let's cut the main deck Weight and Great Heart probably. Sip of Hemlock versus Cavern Lampad. Trying to think what else we cut. Don't need the Brawler. We don't need the Necrobite. So, Sip of Hemlock versus Lampad. I think we need more creatures. We're only at 13. I do like Sip, but I guess we already have Spiteful Blow, so let's take the Lampad, and we'll probably end up cutting one of the Mortal Obstinacies, maybe, or the Cruel Feeding, possibly. Prowler's Helm is cool. Get a little evasion, but might want the Fleshmad Steed just for more creatures. But, I mean, it's not that good. Let's take the Helm. I'm not likely to play it, but it's possible. Alright, now we can take the Read the Bones. Burnished Heart is cool with Scholar, by the way, but Read the Bones is just going to be all around better, I think. So these turned out to be the last 6 cards. It was really, I think, Vanquish the Foul versus Scholar. And I think Scholar would be taken before Vanquish, but I'm not sure on that. Alright, Stephenson Battle Priest it is. Probably not playing it. We're probably just cutting one of our Mortal Obstinacies. Probably. Alright, Guardians, maybe another sideboard blocker. This deck looks pretty good. Got quite a few things going on. I'm glad we picked up a Scholar. Table to Lash of the Whip. That's pretty awesome. So maybe we're just the removal deck. I'm probably okay with that. The removal deck I don't play too often, so usually I guess Heroic doesn't work as well with that, but I have to sort of see what our distribution's looking like on stuff. And I'll have a better idea of what we want to play and what we want to cut. So this is 26. Okay, so maybe we don't need to main deck the Reprisal. I do like the card a lot, but it's probably a better sideboard option when we see if our opponents are, you know, playing mostly fatties or it works so well with Bestow. It's definitely a main deckable card, but just not 100% I want to main deck it. I guess I could run it over the Nyx Infusion, but Nyx Infusion works well with the Constellation. Doesn't work too well with Heroic because we don't have... I'm not even sure if there is... well, I mean, it works well on a Lampad, I guess. How many enchantment creatures do we have? Brain Maggot, Eidolon, Lampad, both Lampads. It's a decent amount. It's not a lot. Prefer to not cut any creatures. We only have 14. Let's cut one of our Mortal Obstinacies. And then let's cut... It's either the... I think it's the Nyx Infusion, because then our removal is what? Feast, Banishing Light, Lash, Spiteful Blow, and then we've got some other ways to go about it as well. Let's do that. I like Nyx Infusion, but this deck probably doesn't need it. So how many ways do we have to target Heroic? What is our Heroic, I guess? Skyguard, Hoplite, Skirmisher, Iconoclast. So not a ton, about 4 or 5 or something. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 ways to target them. Alright. I guess I can get behind this deck. It's not bad. It's a little bit lackluster, I guess. The creatures are pretty underwhelming. We could probably get away with 16 lands and then run. But I guess this is a good mana sink. This guy's a decent mana sink. This guy's a little bit of a mana sink. We really only need 6 mana. We have 3 5-drops. This is a pretty low curve. This is a low curve deck. Makes me feel a little bit more comfortable with playing 16 lands, but I'm not sure if it's necessary. Maybe it would help. Get another removal spell. Play the Nyx Infusion. Get a little versatility in there. But actually, I think I'd rather run the Reprisal, probably. It's cheaper. It's not as versatile, but I feel like it's a better answer to things than Nyx Infusion is. Let's try this out. 16 lands. Probably an even split, right? 8 and 8. Yeah. I think that's right. Alright, so we're going to run it like this. We are running only 16 lands, which is a little bit light, but our curve, like I said, is pretty low. So we'll see how this works out for us. Not the best deck I've ever drafted, but it's decent. Got some removal. Our creatures are lacking. Our removal's pretty good. We've got some interesting creatures I wanted to try out. So, alright. I'll see you round 1.